What is it that makes you sing? No, I don't mean you need to literally sing. I understand it's not easy for everyone, but easy is exactly what we're looking for. Maybe you can sing. If you can, put it in the comments. Tell us about yourself. I would love to listen to you. But was it always easy? How long did it take? What was the process like? It's these processes that we're so stuck on. We as a society are so addicted to needing to have a long, drawn out process. It needs to be difficult all the time. But it doesn't. It doesn't need to be difficult. In fact, we are meant to be at ease. And I know for an anxious person, for an anxious mind, for an anxious body, for someone who is tense, for someone who is in pain, for someone who has trauma, it seems ridiculous. It seems irrelevant. But that's the thing. Life is a process, and that's a fact. But what we're trying to find is the lack of a process, or the minimization of the process. It's the smallest, most gentle, most, I don't want to say rapid, but the quickest process possible. And that is so easy to find that it's so difficult for us, because we are programmed to find difficulty. Because if we can find difficulty in the process, in any process whatsoever, whether that be healing, whether that be working, whether that be creating, then we feel justified. We feel like we've done the right thing. We feel like a good person, because we crave being a good person, and that is part of our evolution. Because if we feel like a good person, then we feel like we're going to be accepted, and if we are accepted, then we are going to survive, right? People are going to accept us, and we're going to be protected by this group. But it's not always been that way, that everything needs to be difficult for us to be accepted. Society tells us that it needs to be difficult, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. And that's something that I'm learning, because, by the way, I am not a master. I am not a guru. I am just a person who happens to channel, and you could be too. Channeling is the same as everything else I'm going to speak about, or that I've been speaking about for the past few minutes. It is something that is born of ease, just like your soul was. The act of giving birth, not easy at all. And for those who are able to give birth, I won't take that away from you. It is not easy, and I get that. But your soul, there was absolutely no effort required in creating your soul. Why? Because it always existed, and it always will. But something came to me. There was a quote, and I can't remember it, so I'm not going to try to directly quote it. But it said, "How could there be something? How could there suddenly be something when before there was nothing?" And it's something that I think that we've all thought about since the time we were small. We would ask, "Where was I before I was born, Mom?" And the thing is that we came here, and that was part of the deal. In order to evolve and go through this process of evolution, we had to give up our memories. We had to give up our knowledge of being one with the all. What does that mean? I think as time goes on, you'll understand it. But if you can let go right now in just the right way, which means fully allowing for ease right now, you'll start to understand that there is so much difficulty in this world because of our insistence on being separate, when in fact, separation is an illusion. The Buddhists say it, the New Age kind of spiritualists say it, even Christianity says it. So really, regardless of what religion you're in, there is pretty much, it's pretty much universal that there is this idea that all is one. And for a long time, I just really didn't get that. It wasn't that I was even against it. I didn't understand. But when you really go deep into meditation, for example, you will directly experience this, because the illusion of the 3D reality will break apart and disappear. And so that is what ease is allowing for the lack of separation, allowing for ourselves to see through the illusion. And it seems so impossible, but really it is the easiest thing you will ever do. So I'm going to try to channel today, because last night I tried to make this video and it was quite a different topic. It was a very similar topic, but it was quite differently explained. That's fine. So I'm going to try to channel, but first I'm going to do a few cards for you. And I want you to keep in mind while I do this reading that all of this can be resolved if you give in to the ease of being. That doesn't mean that it's going to feel always easy, but it does mean that the more that you surrender to being an infinite being, to being both infinite within you and infinite without, that there is no distinction, that mind is all is mind, body is all, and all is body. But at the same time, body is limitation. And don't think about it. Keep that air energy just away. Just let this be absorbed. I'm doing the same because I'm already channeling a little bit. But just let this be absorbed and try to notice any rejection you're feeling for it and be okay with it. Don't reject the rejection, because it turns into a spiral, right? And that is the opposite of ease. But you can lighten your breath. And so just breathe a little less. The more you do so, the easier it will become to find ease. Because the thing is that I feel like the primary reason a lot of us cannot find ease is because we don't have ease within our breath, because we're breathing too hard. Even in yoga and things like that, we hear, I don't even really want to do it because I don't want to disrupt my ease of breath right now. But you hear these heavy breaths, and that is not ease. Sometimes we need those if we are really exerting, but life should not be so much exertion. That should be reserved for the times where we need to use our strength. So anyway, take some ease in your breath by just breathing a little less, allowing for a little bit of air hunger, as they say in BUTEYKO breathing, but not too much. we always want to regulate things. We always want to put them in the middle. Not regulate, that sounds too controlling, but we always want to meet in the middle. So with this ease of breath, with this lightness of breath, just a little bit of air hunger for a little while will make your body start acting in accordance to ease. And you don't have to believe me, but there is actually science behind that if you look up BUTEYKO breathing. And I know that the Pleiadians, who I have been channeling recently, they love that. They are the ones who brought me to it. Also, there's a movement technique called FELDENKRAIS, which I'm not going to get into today, but it is similarly about ease, because we move with such effort a lot, and that every time we move with too much effort when we don't need to, it adds to our dis-ease. So anyway, I'm going to do your reading. So this could be about anything, but remember, the solution is always going to be found with this reading and with many of them in releasing, allowing for ease, inviting ease, and letting go. Just invite it. You don't necessarily need to immediately feel it. You just need to invite it. Like you're inviting a friend into your room. Hey, come in. You know? You don't pull your friend in. You just let him come in. So we have strength, which is exactly what I've been talking about this entire time. Exactly. Because strength is about learning to be strong without being forceful. You don't need to be forceful to be strong. In fact, the less you intend to be forceful, the stronger you're going to be. The second one we have is the Ace of Wands. It's about power. It's about passion. It's about motivation, right? So we're learning to motivate ourselves. We're learning to allow ourselves to follow our goals instead of pushing ourselves. You hear that phrase all the time. Push yourself. Just push yourself and you can do it. No. Invite yourself to do it and you will. Push yourself to do it and maybe you will. But it's going to be hard. It's going to be suffering. It's going to suck. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do it. Just allow. Just invite. And then we have the Hierophant. So this is about, for me right now, this is about rules and regulations. But don't think of them as rules that are being enforced by like a cop or something like that, or by, you know, the principal. These are rules of nature. These are the laws that nature follows. And what is one law that nature always follows? The path of what? Least resistance. So that's what we are focusing on today. So I'm going to get my cards. And you notice that I'm in my bed because I have been struggling to know what I should be doing for these videos, to know how I should be presenting myself. And I realized that I'm struggling because I'm struggling. I'm struggling because I'm struggling. Because I'm pushing. So I've just decided I'm just going to do the videos where I do them. And it's going to be great type of backlight and stuff like that, and a good background or whatever. But for now, I'm going to do it exactly where is the easiest. So that is laying down a little bit in my bed on the wall. Okay. So what does the collective need to know right now? I want these messages to feel personal to them, or at least to be very relevant to their lives. So some of these messages might not resonate with you. The base message will maybe not feel resonant for everybody, but trust me when I say that it applies to everybody, to ease. But maybe some of these situations won't be your specific situation. So I just want you to allow that and take what resonates. Remember that even if it doesn't. Even if I say something about a marriage and you're not married. Allow that to be absorbed and see where it takes you. What does that remind you of in your life? And that's really what this is all about. We have success. Okay, so, and I'm seeing this key right here. This is, I'm hearing the door is opening for you. So if you have something that you felt locked out from, soon it will be unlocked. Okay, soon you're going to find an entryway into this thing that you felt like was almost even not for you. You knew it was for you. You knew that this was your destiny. You knew that this is something that you were meant to experience, you were meant to accomplish in your life, but you felt like somebody, something, someone, maybe even yourself, that's who it was. And that's not blaming. That is not blaming at all, because that just adds to suffering and disease, okay? So it's always ourselves, because everything is ourselves. Okay? So let me preface that. But anyway, you felt like something has been locked away from you, and you didn't know how to access it. We have the number 2 with the number 20, okay, and 0. 0 and 8 are the only two numbers that you can write without picking up your pen forever. So that's infinity. Once again, infinity has been such a big theme lately, for me, and I think for a lot of us, actually. And we have Libra. So maybe you're a Libra, maybe someone you're dealing with is a Libra, or maybe that's what it is. I think for a lot of us, this success, this key, we're going to find the key on the floor. Like, this could literally be a key that you find on the floor. We're going to find it around Libra season. Okay, so October-ish, right? And I would love to find the book, but I feel like that that would be a lot of efforting that might just make people bored. So, I made the book. But there are interesting little spells in this deck, and it's a really good deck if you want to try it. I'm not getting paid for that, by the way. It's just a cool deck. Regeneration, Tarragon. Okay. So for a lot of us, this is healing. And this is something another reader will say, a channeler maybe we could say, or maybe just a spiritual person online on YouTube. He was discussing how we're so in need of just healing ourselves we're so in need of making an effort to heal ourselves that we never heal because we think that it's going to be this long drawn out process when it does not have to be. So I believe, and this is what messages I've gotten, is that sometimes it is a process because your body is a three-dimensional object, and 3D is limitation. Body is limitation. So there's going to be limitations we have to work through, but it's how we work. Are we going to slide, or are we going to grind, right? The difference between those textures is exactly the energy that I want you to think about when you're finding this key. Okay. We have longevity. So there is one thing about people, if you're having a hard time eating the right thing, doing the right thing for your health, okay, think about what I've said earlier. I'm not going to repeat myself again, but I will many times in the next videos. But for now, I just want you to think about what I said and try to use that in order to shine your light on eating the right thing or quitting your bad habit or whatever. And instead of thinking, God, if I don't do this, I'm going to die. If I don't do this, I'm gonna age quickly or whatever. Just let it go. Let it go. And it will still come up because we're in this 3D limited being, right? But invite that to be gone, okay? And invite that to be let go and integrated into yourself and into the universe. So when we say let something go, it doesn't mean that you will immediately stop thinking about it or stop doing it or whatever. It means that you're intending to invite it to integrate into your being. And your being is the same as all. So yeah, I'm gonna stop it there for that. So I think that the Pleiadians are asking me to channel for a few minutes. So we're gonna do that. Just give me a second. You can skip over if you like. I call upon the Pleiadian High Council to join us. Ask you humbly to speak through me for the good of the viewers, for the good of me, and for the good of all. I invite you to speak, and I thank you. Our host is very used to tension. We all are. And when I say we, I mean the human collective, because as we speak with you now, we take part in that collective. We also take part in the galactic collective, as we are all related in one way or another, and the universal collective for the same reasons. Today, our message is simply be. Be what you are now. Authenticity does not mean being someone that other people expect you to be. Just because someone says that you are not authentic does not mean that it is the case. Authenticity is, in fact, the opposite of whatever other people are expecting of you. If someone else calls you inauthentic, that means that they themselves struggle with authenticity. That does not mean that you need to criticize them for their own inauthenticity. No. Inauthenticity means that you are acting in accordance with who you are in this moment, whether you are in this moment covered with struggle and strife and suffering and resistance and separation, or you are in this moment covered with love and with the all, with the knowing that you are divinely allowed and invited to be at ease. Both are correct, depending on when you are living this experience. However, inauthenticity begins to be a problem when you are aware of the fact that you could be more at ease right now, but you choose to be in difficulty, to be in strife. But who does this? Many people, even us. While it is unlikely for us to be caught within strife and difficulty, it is possible because even we have limitation. Even we in further dimensions above yours, that does not mean we are superior in any way. That means that we are in a different dimension, living a different experience. We also are experiencing limitation because we are individuated. Individuation means, to an extent, limitation. However, we are more aware of our being as one with all at all times, whereas It is easy for you as humans to be caught within separation. In fact, this is how you develop eventually, although as children, you have no sense of separation until your consciousness begins to evolve enough to sense that you are an individuated being. You remain part of the all. So if you know an infant, they are just as much an evolved or enlightened being as that one you call the Buddha, or that one you call Jesus. They are just as enlightened as those you call your spirit guides. So be like the infant. Let go and allow. The host is experiencing some dis-ease, so we are allowing him to recover his breath. We want you to understand something. When they say life is suffering, it does not mean it is constant suffering. It means that suffering exists. It means that suffering is the antithesis of ease. And it is inevitable that you will find this dis-ease, this suffering. However, it is not mandatory for you to be in this state all the time. It is not necessary for you to be in this state even 99.9% of your lives or 1% of your lives. If you are caught in physical maladies, if you are caught in problems related to your physical being, please do not feel shame for your seeming inability to just be at ease. This is not what we try to communicate. What we say is simply that you will and can find ease in very short timing if you invite and allow. The collective has been suffering. The collective has been feeling as if the power is not balanced, and we are in agreement with this. There is a noise. We're going to check. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Let's get back to it. They were talking about power struggles. And this is where we were yesterday. So, the collective has been experiencing extremes of power struggles. Extremes of all things. Extremes are exactly what we are trying our best to get you to distance yourself from. Our host is feeling like this is contradictory, but it is not. You can have distance from something while still remaining one with it. The political landscape, the way your leaders are comporting themselves, these actions are creating power struggles which are going to become more and more inflamed. But how can you make any difference? We have already told you. find the ease, and it will help others in the collective find it too. Whether you ever meet them in this physical reality or not, your energy will affect theirs. The more people can let go and allow themselves to be powerful without forcing it, will create a wave of peace within this collective. If we can organize, if we can let go, if we can accept. You are on a path which is forked. We are trying to guide you down the left path, but if you go down the right, it will lead to the same thing, but it will take more of this time, an illusion, and yet still a limitation. It will take more of your lives, and it will cause more separation and fear for more of the population. So we urge you to start today in finding ease for yourself by dropping in from here, down here, to here. Because this is where the true reflection of the all resides. And this is the place that has the most dis-ease of all. We want you to imagine that this place where you feel your thinking and being to reside, we want you to imagine it as drops of water going down and collecting here. This is your first step to going down the left path, which is indeed the right path, the correct path. You will receive further instructions. For now, find love, find ease. In any way you can, in any moment you can, and forgive any moments where you failed to do so. We love you as a parent does, as a sibling does. We will be here for you when you call. We thank you for listening to us today. We thank our host for allowing us to speak through him. We wish you well. Thank you, Pleiadians, for your lovely messages. I am working on channeling in general in as much of a way as I can to work on it. So the more I do it, the more clear it will become. But I think that their message was clear. For the primary message was clear. So I will be doing more personalized readings, as in readings about your life and pick a cards and stuff like that. But I'm going to be doing more channeling and more of more on this topic of non-duality, because the collective is in dire need of it, because we need to go down the left path, the correct path. We must go down that path. They're telling me that no, we must do nothing of the sort. We must go down the path that we go down. But it will be easier for us to go down that path. So I hope this was helpful for you. I'm going to recommend that you look up 3 things. BUTEYKO breathing, FELDENKRAIS movement. Even if you don't have pain, it doesn't matter. Just do any of the movements and you'll see why it's important. And was it Feldenkrais, BUTEYKO breathing. I can't remember. Oh, Yair Sagi. He does meditations about about harmonizing with the infinite, and it is beyond any other meditation I've ever done, and it is a door to ease. But I also invite you to find any door that leads you to ease. But please be honest with yourself. Is it really bringing you ease? Even if it's something like yoga that brings many people ease, is it really bringing you ease? Because if it is not, then maybe it's time to, you don't have to let it go if that's something that you enjoy. But maybe it's time to reduce the amount of something that's giving you dis-ease, even in a little way, in favor of something that will give you ease. And these things that I've told you about today, they are, if you are a human being, they will give you ease. Okay. Also, if you struggle with trauma and difficulties like that in any way, TRE is another great thing for us. It does cause some discomfort, but nothing like, it's not pain. It's just a little. It does tax your body a little bit, but it allows you to let go when your body doesn't want to let go, and it's really digging into those limitations. It allows you to loosen your grip. So TRE, which is trauma release exercises, is very, very, very important for those with trauma. Okay. So, I'm going to pull one more card, and then I'm going to wish you well, okay? What is the final thing that the collective needs to know today? This is the After Tarot, by the way. Page of Swords. Watch that air energy. Watch that breaking down energy. We're going to talk about that another time. But watch yourself. Don't try to stop it necessarily. Just observe when you are trying to analyze, criticize, and break things down into smaller mental parts when that's not actually what they are. Okay? Take that as you will. We have the Lovers in the bottom. So remember your heart. That is the most important thing. And for me, even though they're not even on the same plane, or are they? He's looking at the heart here. He is going from breaking things down into smaller parts to putting it all into his heart and allowing that to expand into all. Okay. So for some more mundane messages, you also might be getting a message soon from someone that you love very much, or you used to love. And what would this message? Whoa. Oh, I have chills. Something just moved that really shouldn't have moved by itself. But what kind of message can the collective look for, and what is important about it, please? The message is about something coming to a close, not an ending so much. Like, it is an ending, but it's not like a scary ending. It's just something that's coming to a close, that's kind of losing its steam. And that's the message, that it's about something losing its steam. Okay? And how should you respond to that? So it's about your heart. It's about something that you love, or someone you love. And they may be losing steam for something, or they might be telling you that you're losing your steam for something, and you need to follow your own heart to know if what they're saying is true. Okay, so somebody may be quitting a job or may be needing to quit a job like ASAP, actually, because it is not in alignment with you. Yeah. It's all about the heart today. It's all about the heart. I know I didn't even mention it that much, and neither did they. They did mention it, but not like it. That's not what we've been constantly talking about. But it is all about the heart. So remember that. Um, your abundance, though, this is something about maybe you are finding something. Maybe it's not even a person. It's a passion. Yeah, it's a passion that you're going to make a choice about. Because something that you've been doing has just been running out of steam and it's just not working so much anymore. But you're going to find your real passion soon. And by saying going to, I'm saying you're going to invite it to come into your life and it's going to come into your life. You're not going to force it. You're just going to say, I invite my passion to come into my life so I can let this thing go that I've been doing that I no longer feel any passion for. Okay. Yep. And it will come in quick. It will come in quick. Just invite it. All right, guys. I love you. I thank you for watching. And I will see you next time. We're gonna really dig deep into a lot of these topics. So I look forward to it. Bye.